way before I was doing this. Um, I said, well, maybe it'll be great. I hate out there.
This time last year,
Barbershop Stories
actually today,
podcast.
was one of the days
Episode
I was
117.
in New York for the first time.
117.
last
Really?
A whole bunch of episodes.
You liked it?
year. Enjoyed it.
Shout out to Z-Lands Media. Y'all make sure y'all check
You'll
out
love
his
it.
Instagram,
Enjoyed
Just, I'm from
Facebook.
Long Island.
TikTok.
Yeah.
and all
Make it out
things.
there, but-
Some of his services, all
Enjoyed the
video
rest of
work, camera work.
If I could afford to just
nah.
live there now,
Also,
that's
make
where
sure you stay tuned in to
It's
Barbershop
very
Stories
expensive.
podcast. Every week,
Especially to live out on the
Wednesday, 8
island.
p.m. Central Time.
And when my parents retired, they sold the
Share,
home house.
and everything else.
So-
Come on. Yeah, it's
Believe it.
Okay, boom. Okay, we know it's working. We know it's working. We got a great guest on here today.
Yes, sir, we do.
This young lady on here.
We
talking
do,
about
we do.
stopping the violence, and if you don't want to stop, you say she put that fire in your ass too. But you know, she ain't want me to say that, but I got to say it. Now, cause you sit over there with that thing on, you know what I'm saying?
How we gonna do it?
So without further ado, let me get on around here and introduce this special guest. So, drum roll, please. Yeah, come on around. What's going on, Miss Sylvia?
Hey.
We appreciate you coming on in.
Well, thank you for having
Appreciate you coming on in.
Thank you.
Again?
We know there's so many
Yes.
things you could have been doing, but you chose to come here and just chop it up with us on this beautiful Wednesday evening. So, you know, we definitely do appreciate that because we do understand that you could have been at the house watching Matlock. You could have been at the house sleep. You could have been at the house watching
Sleep more
you know,
like.
yeah, all kind of old stuff. So I definitely want to say we definitely do appreciate it. So,
Well, thank you for having me. I'm honored, actually.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have me feeling special now. Like,
You-
you know,
you
I don't
guys
have a feeling
are
like we
special.
done, like
You
we
really
done
are.
something good or something around here.
I've heard all good things about you. And, you know, my son, when my son raved about people,
Mm-hmm.
they're genuine.
Oh yeah, we try
They're
to do right.
genuine. So, and he loved you guys.
Oh yeah, well we love him too. We try to do.
Yeah.
He normally come in on Friday, Saturday. We normally do right on Friday and Saturday. Now he'd call us on Tuesday when like. No, I'm just kidding with you. I'm just kidding with you. Oh yeah. We
Yeah,
try
he
not to be
shares
strange.
with me, you know, all the barbershop talk and some of the good things in exchange of knowledge and the iron sharpening iron that goes on here. And that's what we need more of.
Did he tell you about the conversation about Rochelle?
No.
He didn't tell you about Rochelle?
He didn't tell me
Okay, all right,
about
I'm gonna leave
Rochelle.
that where it is now.
I ain't talking
Nah.
about Rochelle. Look,
She used to do nails with
That's-
Rochelle too.
this might be something I don't want to hear.
No, I'm just kidding.
About
I'm
Rochelle.
just messing. I'm just messing. You know, Rochelle did nails. You know, that what A-Ball and MJG were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I'm telling you, we're gonna listen to it afterward. She used to do nails for Rochelle Will. All right, we'll come back to it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's come back to that one.
Oh yeah.
Miss Sylvia don't know nothing about no 8-ball and MJG.
No.
She know about it. She
I-
just don't know him by the name. She better right there. Come on, you see Sylvia here. Be like, hold on, what they? Oh, okay, that's my song. You be like, you know that's 8-Ball and MJG. She be like, oh.
Well, you know what? The good thing is I don't get out much.
Oh yeah.
I don't get out much.
That's a good. You know that can be a good thing though.
Somebody gotta get up in the morning and get their work done.
I got jokes too.
Oh yeah.
Somebody gotta get up early in the morning and get their work done. Miss Sylvia,
Early. Well, you
that's
know
about
what?
the gist of it.
With what I do, I typically work 24 hours.
Mm.
You know, I'm subject to get a call 3 o'clock in the morning from a mom that just can't make it through the night.
Mm.
So going to sleep is not something I just plan, you know.
So it just got to happen.
Yeah,
Get it where you can, when you can.
I get it when I can. I get it when I can. So, but that's the life in a day of what I do, you know.
So, well, I guess for the listening audience, you know, because we know the story, but for the listening audience, What got you into saying I want to be part of a stop the violence movement, or even care enough to tend to people who's experiencing that, or people who just need somebody to talk to? Because I understand that takes a lot of dedication and a lot of your personal time to be able to care about what somebody else is going through. What got you to that point?
Well, you guys, most everyone in Birmingham know I lost my daughter, Crystal Joy Bennett, July 4th, 2004, right? I honestly did not think something like that would ever happen to me, especially in the line of work that I do, and I did. I worked with the juvenile offenders for years. Love what I did, so just never thought this would happen to me. My life as I once knew it changed. I mean, just everything just changed. I was non-functional. To the point where I can leave home and didn't know how to get back. My head was so messed up. Couldn't stop crying, couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. It was just a horrible years of that, right? So, and people don't know what we go through. And what I do for a living is develop programs, right? So I was developing programs for juvenile offenders at the time. And I got a call from Washington, D.C. asking me, was I interested in developing some programs? Prior to getting that call, I got a call from Harry Belafonte.
Harry Belafonte.
Yeah.
Every time I hear that name, it sounds so funny to me because I used to always hear it on Sanford and Son. Like that was the go-to name. Who you think I am? Harry Belafonte?
That was
Yeah, Harry Belafonte.
I didn't know what he did. Sang, act,
I didn't know.
tap dance.
I just always heard that
knew he
name.
was famous, yeah.
I'm talking about that was like a common name.
But what he was mostly famous for was his activism, being an activist. His history with Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King, is just phenomenal. And I was honored to be able to hear the story from him as to how he in the music, in the entertainment industry, actually fund the civil rights movement, right? So I was able to travel with him for a few years and actually speak on the violence.
But would you repeat that last sentence one more time, Miss Sylvia? Because I kind of missed that. I heard you, but I want to make sure I heard you clear.
You want me to start where
it was funded, the civil rights movement was funded.
Funded through Harry Belafonte, through the entertainment industry.
Okay.
The civil rights movement was funded, and that's documented in any of his books. Harry Belafonte, Sidney Poitier, they would actually, there's one story in his memoirs that he would share where they actually came to Mississippi to bring money to get to Dr. King. But they were met by a mob, right? And Sidney said to him, man, what the H you got me into?
Good old state of Mississippi.
Right, all these lights and you see these crosses burning,
What year?
Oh, I can't tell you what
Okay.
year that was.
Around the time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was during the height of the civil
I got
rights. But they end up getting the money to Dr. King and being able to fly out of there. They actually was able to call Robert Kennedy, president at the time, and he got them a flight out. So it's just so much rich history
Mm-hmm.
that I think we're missing because, if the kids knew what sacrifices
Mm,
he made,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just one man,
mm.
that he made for them to be where they are now. Maybe they'll make better choices.
Barbershop Stories, the podcast, episode 117. We're sitting here right now with just simply Sylvia.
Just simply Sylvia.
That roll with Hair Belafonte. Now back to you, Miss Sylvia.
So I was able to travel with I call him Mr. B, for a number of years. I was able to take some of Birmingham youth with me on a number of occasions. And now they're in great positions here because they received nonviolence training. And I like to hope that some of that training contribute to where they are now. Case in point, Dewana Thompson, our Civil Rights CEO, Civil Rights Institute CEO. She was one that came with me to travel with Harry. So, there's a lot of different things and a lot of different solutions that we could bring together. But we got to come together, and that's the issue. We just don't come together.
But let me ask you this though, Miss Sylvia. Do you think that's a constructed effort though? And as far as why people don't want to come together, because I always enjoy history, and then I look at how movements were moving along, doing great, and they'll stick a mold in there, and the mold will separate the group. And after so many times of seeing that, I think it made a lot of people stand offish, and I think it had people to raise their folks like that too, meaning that, like you said, now you got to revert on all that bad training, that everybody's not like that. But I think that a lot of people, because I think sincerely, in my opinion, I think people want to come together because it sounds great to say it, but I think when the reality hit, a lot of them don't really know how, because there's so much envy and so much stuff been bred into them. It's almost like just a cliche conversation opposed to actions that can actually be made possible.
What I'm finding is that you have more people that want to be chief rather than Indian.
Just like that, I agree.
Okay? And we have to get to a point to where we understand it's got to be leadership. And even if you're following, you're still following in leadership. You're still walking in a leadership role.
Still have a voice.
You understand? And if people could understand that, then perhaps we can get somewhere. But I'd rather for us to try to come together than not.
That's right.
Because society is praying, and I'm saying P-R-E-Y,
Oh yeah,
on the fact that we don't come together.
that's right.
And that's a big problem. So until that happens, we're going to get what we get.
I agree. Yeah, but it's almost sad to see it, because it's almost like when you read history from, let's just say, 1950 to current, it's almost scary, because it's like you watch
It
the
is.
digression from what it was to what it is now, which means, one, it was a constructed effort, and two, I think when Dave Chappelle said this line, "You should have never gave you niggas money." It was funny, but me looking at it deeper, it was like, I understand what he's saying, because it brought about a separation, as in, like, if we always went to Sylvia's house to eat a bar of sugar, or vice versa, or went to Sam's house, or went to K1 house, now they got some money. So now it's telling, I don't need Sylvia, I don't give a damn about Sylvia, I ain't never gotta come back over there. Then you look up, now the children ain't been over there, and the children of that, and then you look up, it's 50 years later, and now you got some kin folks with the same last name on different sides of town that don't even know each other.
Now that is
That's
true, but I think that comes from here again society.
Mhm.
But in terms of what you just said about Dave, they should have never gave us money. The fact is that we had money.
Yeah, I mean, we
Black
have.
Wall Street, we had money.
But see,
There was a lot of black millionaires.
well,
back
see,
then.
in the aspect, what he was saying is, I believe that black folks always had wealth, but the way they market it with the people with newfound wealth, it makes them fools.
Newfound wealth.
Yeah, newfound wealth, it make them
that's
fools.
the key right there. The newfound wealth. You know, newfound wealth and education now. Let's
Yeah,
not
that's true.
forget about the educated fools.
Oh,
That's what
probably the
grandma
worst.
used to call.
Probably the worst.
Okay? But we had, like you said, we had wealth because we had land. And people don't understand that that is the greatest wealth.
That's
It's
true.
having land, right? So you'll never be poor if you have land.
Yeah, you got some.
But we had Black Wall Street. We had Martha's Vineyards. All of that was black owned. And they did it because they came together. But this newfound wealth, I'm better than you. I'm more educated than you.
Classism.
That classism.
That's probably worse than
That
racism.
classism.
All them isms bad, but that classism might be one of the worst. Racism, you can look at them and stay away from around them.
I think it's one of the.
That classism look you in your face and want to put you in a box.
Yeah.
I don't do boxes.
I don't know if you can answer this. You mentioned Martha's Venue. I've heard that it was owned by blacks.
Yes.
Did the name originally come from black, or did they change it when whites bought it?
Now that I don't know. I
That's
don't
a
know.
good question. That's something you're gonna make me look up though.
Yeah.
I
I
gotta
don't
look
know.
that one up. Because I never knew that until just
Yeah.
That soul was inhabited
Yeah.
by now.
Yeah.
Now that's a very good question.
Yeah.
That I don't know.
That's an interesting
But I
fact
do
she
know
dropped
that
on.
Martha's Vineyard, matter of fact, I just talked to a friend that's visiting there now, you know, and of course the Obamas are there with their 20-some acres, you know, sitting on their little private island, you know, but yeah, there's a lot of generational wealth that I think if we start educating our communities and how they did it back then, history does repeat itself. But you got to know your history. You know, it's just like we talked a little bit before in terms of some solutions. And one of the things that I say, the solution lies within us. We always took care of our communities. We always took care of the elderly and the children. You can always go to Big Mama's house and eat.
So if you ain't have nothing else, you can eat.
You got several whippings before you got home if you did something wrong. Those are the standards that we have to go back to and be okay with that. You know, nowadays, you know, you may say, give a correction to a young mom, and she want to cuss you out. And all you doing is saying, hey, been there, done this.
You ain't gotta
It can be
lose.
done a better way.
Yeah, you ain't gotta lose. You can just listen.
Just
That's
listen.
Just listen.
Just listen.
I think getting offended by things like that, like I spoke on classism, even I don't just cast out all religion and everything about it or anything, but some of that stuff has been separatist and divided a lot of us. Most definitely politics. When you go to talk about, you know, what side you fence you on that stuff, and then, you know, it's just so much that does divide us. I think that's where being that young lady or that young fella, me and B might be in here correct, and the adult or the person that's in supervision of those kids or children being offended is a product of all that division and separation.
It is.
You know what I'm saying, with the families and not being a unit, and everybody's that's blood ain't family. We understand that. Cause y'all,
Say that again.
you was raised different or wasn't raised a certain way. You probably not as close to your folks as you are to maybe somebody that you grew up next door to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was something earlier that separated y'all. Might not even been the family that separated y'all.
Right.
It could have been something, you know what I'm saying, criminal, political, and if you go far enough back, could have been something completely unfair. For a reason why you don't know these people, and you saying all blood
Right.
ain't, all
Right.
skin folk ain't kinfolk, and all these sayings we got. So that division is alive. I understand exactly what Benny coming from on it. So it makes getting to those solutions tougher. Conquering that division and leaving stuff at the door, leaving your political denomination, your religious denomination, and all this stuff at the door, and coming in and coming up with solutions. Probably is harder than coming up with the solution.
It is. But I love what Dick Gregory says about the political separation. Have you ever heard him say the Democrats, the Republicans robbed the bank and the Democrats tried to get away car?
They said
They're
on
on the
vice
same
versa,
team.
one
They're
of
on the
us.
same team.
One or the other.
In a lot of cases.
You understand?
If
So,
not most of them.
but that brings us back to here. We gotta put all that aside.
Mm-hmm.
All that aside. I remember as a young girl, a lot of people didn't like the old radio. You guys are young, so you may not remember Tall Paul and Shirley, the Playboy,
I've heard of them.
right?
Episode 117.
Nobody said it to Playboy.
So I remember as a kid when I would come here for the summer, they would actually give messages on the radio about where to meet, what to do. But that's when the community was at one. They didn't like each other half the time. And that was okay. I heard Big Mama say, oh, that so-and-so, so-and-so. But she did what she had to do with so-and-so, so-and-so.
Yeah, for the better good.
For the better good of all the families in the neighborhood. And that's what we have to get back to. We have to take one block at a time, right? Who's gonna be Big Mama on this block?
That's right.
I don't care if you 20 years old. Somebody on that block needs to be Big Mama.
But you know what's scary about that now? Is that not everybody, a lot of people so blinded by foolishness, nobody thinks about being Big Mama till after a tragedy.
After.
And, that's why I definitely applaud what you do, saying, look, I had a tragedy in my life, and I would love to prevent you all from having to feel this
What I
daily
feel.
hurt. Because some people, my grandma used to say, people don't think shit stink till you put it in their face.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of people don't think
they
that
should.
it could happen to them. But I always say, hey, you can be watching the news today and tomorrow you'll be on it.
yeah, it can be you.
It could be you. It can easily be you. Did I think it could happen to me? Honestly, no, I did not.
No, I don't think
No, I did not.
most people logically thinking feel like,
Yeah.
man, no, not me.
Yeah.
But it can, and
It can hit
it's
you.
just like hitting the lottery.
It's surreal to
Mhm.
most people. It's like you watching a show almost. I think some people have sincerity enough in their heart to have empathy for the people that they see, going through stuff on the news and stuff like that. Cause was the guy that announced all that stuff? You can't help but to have empathy for that guy. Because
Yeah.
he stay on the news every 10 minutes.
Fitzpatrick.
Fitzgerald. Okay, yeah, Fitzgerald is his name. But I think it is surreal. It's almost like when it's not you, it still doesn't hit home.
Home.
Yeah. Not
I'm
you,
sure.
Until it
not,
hits home.
not you
Yeah.
and people
I'm
that
sure
you
not the
connected
same
to.
way.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if it's somebody you connected to, it may feel a little bit because
Yeah.
you was over.
I know them.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
them. But when you don't know them, you really literally, and I hate to sound so like out of it, it's like you say like, damn.
You
Yeah.
desensitize.
Man, that's hard. Now,
Yeah.
man, I hate it for the family. Then it's on
And
to
you
the
go
next one.
eat a sandwich.
Yeah.
You
But
go
Go
eat
to
a
work in the
sandwich.
morning. Yeah.
A lot of people go to a crime scene, look at a body laying in the road, go home and eat a sandwich.
Normalized.
It's just, hey,
Sad
That's
thing.
hard.
another day
too.
in the hood.
Sad
Yeah.
thing.
And I think that's got to be a scary thing though, just for all of us to get to a point where it's like, oh, somebody got killed, knew it was gonna happen. You know, that's hard because when I looked at it like this one
It's
day,
scary.
I thought about let's just take 10 U.S. cities, just 10, and let's just say what Birmingham, Atlanta, Jackson, Mississippi, Nashville, Memphis, a few others that equal to 10. If all of those cities just have 100 murders a year, and we know it well exceeds that,
Right.
let's just say 100 murders a year for 10 cities, that's 1,000 people a year. Every 10 years, a decade, you lost 10,000 humans to a gun. But we're not including the people who got jail time, the people who just got shot, who got maimed,
Right.
wheelchairs, one
Right.
leg,
Right. We just
mentally
talking about the
unstable.
homicides.
Yeah, so when you think about the real number in that, people don't realize the loss of life and human capital that we losing. You know,
And it's black on black crime.
yeah, you talking about every year, a whole segment. But like now, Birmingham population is 197,000, like in the
98.
somewhere around there in the inner city limits. But I remember when it was much higher than that.
Yeah.
So when you think about that, all of them ain't moved to the outskirts. A lot of them gone.
They left.
A lot of them are in prison. A lot of them are in those little homes that's taking medicine where they just look straight all day, look at the sun. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people left here because
But a lot of people on the street need to be in them little homes taking some medication
Oh, yeah.
because mental illness is real.
well, they do take it. They just let them out in the daytime. Shit. Oh yeah, they in there. Believe me, at night they got sense enough to go somewhere, but and the people don't realize that until one day you get to an age and it seems like it all hit you at one time. All
Yeah.
the stuff that you've been witnessing
Yeah.
all your life, you like, damn,
It's
these folks gone.
It's sad when you go and you talk to, let's say, elementary students, right? And you ask them, how many of you all know someone or have lost someone or a brother or sister to gun violence? It's sad when every one of them raise their hand. A whole school will raise their hand. I was talking to kindergartners one time about the safety of guns. You know, a lot of times parents leave their guns around the house, all of the above. It's sad when a kindergarten can tell you more about a gun. Oh yeah, his Glock was here, and you do it like this. And the
That's
heck,
good. Somebody been showing them.
6 years old. You know too much about it.
Yeah.
So they're being desensitized. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-gun. Oh no.
Oh no.
I believe you have the right to bear arms.
Oh yeah, you gotta keep
You
that
have the
fact.
right to protect yourself. You know, and in other cultures, the kids are taught about guns early, and they're taught in hunting. Right?
In proper manners.
There you go.
They're not telling
There
you
you
about
go.
them because they just seen it laying around. I know such and such keep his gun and I be going up playing with
There's a
it.
difference. There is a difference.
Yeah.
To educate is one thing. To sensationalize guns is another. I don't mind you educating. I don't mind, you talking about protection.
Tell you the truth,
But
that's what they mostly need.
sensationalize it is the problem.
Mm.
Now you have your middle school thinking, oh yeah, man, I'm cool because I got a gun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it matched the outfit now.
And you don't bit more know how to shoot. That's how a lot of people are getting hit because these kids out here don't know how to shoot.
Don't know gun safety, let alone
None.
how to shoot it,
None
Yeah.
whatsoever.
how not to hold it, and
So you just,
certain ways and
pointing.
different stuff.
and then you putting a Glock switch on it, which really you don't have no control over then.
You been shot somebody from their feet up. Ha-ra-ra-ra. Yeah, you right about that. I don't even know what the switch look like.
And
I'm that old.
and to amplify all of that is all being made available. Online, and you got 3D
Online.
weapons to go along with the hot weapons in the street now.
That's
the break-ins and the breaking into cars and the breaking into
That's
houses
it.
weapons. You got online stuff, probably flying, off the shelf even faster.
I would say the ratio of kids getting guns illegally comes from online. Yeah, they doing the break-ins of the cars, but the higher ratio
Yeah.
is online.
Even if they're not getting the 3Ds or whatever, they meeting up via online.
They
Oh,
are.
okay, what you want for that? So,
They are.
See, that's crazy though, because one thing I do realize about this great United States of the A,
yeah.
whatever them jokers want to stop, they
They
can
can
stop
stop.
Yeah.
instantly.
Speaking
Like
about
I'm
that
talking about,
topic,
like if they started tonight at 15 to 9, 16 to 9, in about a week, maybe 2,
It will stop
they will break up 90% of that if they really wanted to.
if they really wanted to.
But
But
I-
look who's killing who. So
Yeah.
why should they?
And then I think what I think capitalism did to this country, because I think capitalism can be a great thing. I do believe if you innovative and you got the will, the drive, the know-how,
Yeah.
and you work hard, you should be able to make all the money you want.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree with that.
But some of the stuff this country does, capitalism is dependent on a fictitious system. Meaning that I gotta create jail, so if I got this big old pretty jail, I gotta criminalize certain activities from marijuana to shooting to even
'Cause I
killing.
gotta
to
fill
gun, 'cause
this
I gotta
pretty
fill
jail.
it. Then I need probation officers, so that means, you know what, Sylvia, you ain't going to jail for that shit you did.
Right.
But I want $40 a week
There
for
you
the
go.
next 3 years, and you can't
Need
leave the
everything
state.
I'm
working.
gonna take all your money and your driver's
Exactly.
license.
Oh, matter of fact, so you in jail, no children at home, we're going to put them in the system.
Right.
So now the social
There you
workers
go.
can eat a little bit, and I
Yep.
think that the violence as well as the good thing control the system, because like you in the sector you in, as far as was saying, look, I want to help initiate some programs to stop violence. Is money in that? Not saying that most people that I know really sincerely are in it, but by it being money in it, guess what it does? It taint it. So even though some people are, let's fight the violence, it's almost like, boy, I'm looking forward to the news jumping this morning because it creates
but
work.
the money that's in it don't get to the people who's actually trying to make a difference.
Yeah.
It does not hit the ground.
So that's back to the capitalism part.
There you go.
We want to talk about it, but don't give me that
It
right
don't
there,
hit-
Sylvia.
it
then
don't
we'll
hit the
see you
ground.
tomorrow. Yeah, it's an
Capitalism
administrative
turned
fee.
So
criminal-
therefore,
Exactly.
the changes that people are trying to make within the community.
Mhm.
You know, the regular below Joe, Mr. Joe. Mr. Joe is out there trying to talk to the kids on the block. Who supporting Mr. Joe? Nobody. Because Mr. Joe is not part of a big box organization. Mr. Joe is not part of that classism box that I told you I don't do. Okay? So, Mr. Joe is not getting the support that he needs. The candy lady is not getting the support she needs. But she's out there making a difference with those kids
Every day.
every day. So what we do, we try to connect with Mr. Joe and the candy lady. Tell me what you need.
Okay.
How can we strengthen you to do what you do naturally? Because you're the one that these kids are coming to.
See you every day.
Yeah.
Boots on the ground.
And end up being the confidants. End up being the one that they want to share things with because you made that connection. Now, I don't have anything against Boys and Girls Clubs, YMCAs. You know, I used to be executive wife. So I don't have nothing against that, right? But the average kid that's out there making the bad choices are not going to go into the Boys and Girls Clubs or the YMCAs. They're going to be right there on the block with Mr. Joe in the Candlelight.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So what better investment than to just give something to support those boots on the ground, those grassroots who are out there, who are brave enough to go to the corner.
You know 'em.
But do you think though?
You know 'em.
Do you think, Miss Sylvia, that a lot of people don't give because they don't know those people, or they simply just don't care? Because from what my experience is with people who like that, they'll never tell you that's what they're doing. They just do it.
They just do it, but there's a way to find out who's doing it.
So I think depending on who trying to give, because I think some people who real rich, they'll give because it's like, oh, but they ain't going that way.
No, they're not going to go there, but they'll give their money.
Yeah, but they get the money. But a lot of
Right.
times, some people, either they too selfish to acknowledge them, or they simply just don't know them. Do you think that's the case, or they just simply don't give a care? Or a little bit of all of it?
A little bit of all
Say
of
all of
it.
it.
But
all
So it's a bowl of
that
gumbo.
when I say monies, all right, let's go here. Let's get to the nitty gritty. All right.
Money, 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 money. Barbershop Stories Podcast, episode 117. We're sitting here with Sylvia. Now about you, Sylvia.
All right. So, Birmingham. Organizations were just giving millions of dollars to stop, just be effective in stopping the violence, because you just can't stop it. But I'm saying being effective, right? Millions. Now, not one grassroots organization was on that list.
Way to funnel that money.
Not one was on that list. So it may be reaching the kids, maybe reaching the community, but is it reaching the ones who are really doing the work? And I know some fantastic people that's out here that will walk Gate City streets. You understand? Walk Kingston. Why are we not helping them? And they're the one that's got the respect of the community.
I think I got the answer why.
Why?
Because the average person feels as if it's not affecting them directly, and
Hello.
we'll support you from afar, but that's really not my problem. That's Duke and Ray right now. That's Lakeisha and Lachey now. I don't know them. They're from another side of town. I'm not affected. A lot of times people join on after a tragedy. And it's sad to say that, but a lot of
It
people
is.
join on after tragedies, after heartache, after your godson is somebody close to you, and then it's more real to you. Because like we said earlier, when the average person watched the news, it looked like a TV show. Like honestly,
It's
news
crazy.
now with all the ticker taper at the
crazy.
bottom, with the ads and the commercials, and oh man, 11 folk got shot. Then 5 seconds later, like, hey, we got to do that day tomorrow. We got a whole bunch of German shepherds and rock riders jumping through the park. Woo! You know what I'm saying? It's something else now.
Yeah.
So I think that the average person just, like, they'll hear you. And I think a lot of people like, damn, that's messed up. What you need? Just buy 10 raps here, I ain't bet. But as far as going out there, it's not close enough to them to actually feel the sincerity of why this woman or this man is fighting or going to bat so hard. Because they do not want to see you wait, because you may not be able to handle it. The next person may end up killing themselves, end up smoking dope. There's still new crackheads out here.
But there's a lot of people that want to do it, but don't get the support to do it.
Yep, that's true too. I agree.
They want to do it. They really do. But they don't get that support.
Or they do it here and there, but like I
Right.
said, if they had the support,
Right.
they probably would do more.
But then you got another half of people that do it for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you
It's
got
a
a lot
hustle.
of them
Soaking
out
up
there.
that funding.
You got a lot of them out there now.
It's a hustle.
It is a hustle. You touched on that earlier.
And
You
then-
know, so they do it for the wrong reasons, but they don't last.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
They don't last.
that, like I said, a lot of that too. You know, you got people that they may feel like people in this certain situation, they over there in Kingston, then that's what they want to do. You know, or that's you know, or okay, it ain't nobody over there that really trying to get out of there. You know, and I think that mentality get taken on too, as well as people that's trying. The people that try to do things and that do things in those areas catch ridicule too. You know, people may say, "Well, no, I see he was over there drinking a beer with him over
Right.
there the other day too." So,
Right.
but you know, he's an anchor in that community also. You know,
you
drinking
go.
a beer ain't against the law. You know,
No.
you know, except in a certain instance or you know, publicly or in a wrong container or something like that. But you'll get ridiculed and you know, the people that may want to help you may, you know, have a bug in that room. Like, okay, oh, here's what you over there doing. I ain't gonna give nothing to that. You know. So it's a lot of reasons, like Benny said. We don't want to just dwell on the negative
Right.
reasons, though. But 'cause
But
it's
at
people
the
that will
same
help.
time, I say to everybody, you know, you do what you do.
That's right.
And you just can't care what nobody else say.
That's right.
That's true.
Years ago, this young girl was in a strip club. And I was asked to help this mother, right? You know me, I don't care. I go in no strip club. I went in this strip club and I got her, right? Some people in the strip clubs knew me. Oh, Miss Sylvia was in the strip club, man.
Just like
Didn't
that.
have no
Just
idea
like that. That's what I'm talking about.
why I was there.
Where's that, Mike's?
And I put it out there and let it just run.
Shit out there, Mike Crawford.
That was back Sammy days.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was
Sammy. I forgot
way
all about
back
Sammy.
when. That was years ago. But didn't know why I was in there.
Yeah.
But the fact that
Didn't
So-
care. They just wanted to say they be the
They
one with the
just wanted
news.
to say
They want to be the one with the news.
right, you know what I'm saying? So you have to have that tough skin to where it does not matter what people say.
Love that.
I mean, when I get called all kinds of names. Because I'll go on Tucker Carlson and do this right here.
But who better than them people that's in the
Right.
trenches?
So I'll get called, you know, Aunt Jemima, all this, blah, 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 blah. Do I care? Ask me, do I care? Because I don't.
Do you care?
You almost made me cuss, you know that, right?
I mean, I didn't say,
I had
you
to
know,
go
it's
to-
PG-13. We could. Let me see. Yeah.
Almost said, no. You know, I mean, one thing, I was never that person that really cared about what people thought of me. You know, I stand within my own skin. I'm good at that. But after I had buried my child, I care less
Yeah.
about what you think of me.
That's right.
You know, so, hey, what can you do to me that can hurt me any worse
Yeah, you're right.
than seeing my baby go down? No.
Oh, nothing.
Oh, you hear?
Yeah, that. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what people think or say.
That's right.
Long as you know you can stand within your own conviction.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I do. I try to. Am I boring you? You just yarning.
No, no,
Oh
no.
no! Don't do me like that.
No, I ain't do you that way. No, but I tell you
No,
what.
we
Hold
listening,
on.
sis.
Barbershop Stories, the podcast, episode 117. The reason why I was
See, I
yawning,
got jokes too.
the reason why I was yawning, because I had a couple drinks prior to.
Oh.
So it ain't that. You know, when you yawn, that mean your brain hot. So it's cooling off, so we can stay cool to listen to Miss Sylvia. Now, back to you, Miss Sylvia.
Okay, so where was I? I was talking about being okay within my own
Yeah,
skin.
man, don't get say, I bet we were listening.
So they saying, yeah, they spotted you in Salmon and called you out.
Call me out. I'm like, Lord, I'm in here trying to do a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man,
And
I think that was something else.
but you know what? I laughed it off. We laughed it off. You know, look, I went in there to get a friend of mine's daughter. So, no, it wasn't that kind of thing. And even if it was, if that's how I rolled, that's just how I rolled.
But that don't negate
You know,
away
if
from the
that
work that you're
was-
doing.
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's right.
So don't take that away from me. But hey,
Yeah, but you know,
People use anything.
but
They will.
we in a social media
They
world where popular opinion matters more than the truth.
yeah.
So like people don't
Unfortunately.
realize, yeah, and it's very unfortunate because some people drink, some people smoke, some people smoke dope, cigarettes, everything, but that don't negate away from the work that they do.
It
That's what
doesn't.
they do on their personal time. And people they want to hear the negative because sometimes so many positive things make people kind of despise you. For some reason, I don't know why, but it's like
People don't want to hear good.
see me around trying to
Be all
do
that.
right and shit. What
Yeah.
the hell wrong with her? Want to do right?
Do you know I hear that on a daily basis?
That's real.
Who
That's
does
real.
she think she
Yeah.
is?
right.
You get
Try-
called on doing right before you get called on doing the wrong
Trying
thing.
to help folks. Oh, you done nerve.
You don't get taught about doing the wrong thing until you get caught.
Yeah.
Or either
That's
they-
when everybody got something to say about
Or
that.
they
either
might
they need
protect
you, or either they need you.
I hear you on that.
Okay, so there are times where, you know, of course, I'm known for doing the driver's license, help people get their driver's license, right? So,
No chorus says you helped him out on his. One of the barbers.
oh,
helped.
you put him on blast.
Ain't no doubt.
Yeah, but yeah, he was wonderful. But
Many moons ago. Many moons.
long time ago, Corey, long time
Hey, he
ago.
was wonderful though.
Ain't no doubt.
Look, he got him. He never gonna lose him again. I
But,
bet you that.
Cost some money.
We gotta make it real to him.
You know, but
Make him know who you are.
you know, people would say, "Oh man, she's bougie. She's bougie, but she real. Go to her. She'll get your license." You know, but I got to be bougie first. Why?
But the kid part, even when people call bougie, is because they speak different from you or speaking for the atmosphere we're in right now. They don't realize it's called a chameleon. It's not bougie.
It's not bougie.
It's a chameleon.
You know, I am who I am, and I don't change. You know, not unless you bring that other side. I do have another side. I mean, we were talking
talked
about that
all
earlier.
Yeah, hold your hand up. Let me see something.
Say we call
They
They called the Wilvia.
There's Sylvia, and then there's Woovia.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Woovia, you just never want to know her.
So you know that's who you don't want to meet.
That's the lady that carried the short back. They ain't gonna carry the long back, the short back. That's the one that beat you several times. Oh yeah.
I say that question for when we was off the air, just because I wanted you to. But I wanted everybody to understand where that name come from, because I had to ask you before the night was out. Now, how they changed the S to a W? Where did Wilvia come from?
You push that very last button. You know, now I'm a person of many chances. You know, I'm easygoing. I believe in learning and teaching, right? So I don't get upset with bad choices. I get upset when you repeat bad choices.
Yeah, 'cause that mean you ain't learning.
Right. So
You said learning before teaching, because that's the order it goes.
that's the order that it goes in. So now you keep pushing that button. Keep pushing it. Okay, 1 morning, 2, 3. You remember I was telling you that third B word I was called today. So after so many chances, and then you taking me for granted, that's when Sylvia comes out.
Just
You
waking
see
up.
that other part of me that's not as
I
nice.
said, that's a weird, that's a way.
And we all have that. We all have our limits.
Yeah.
I'm just human. I have my
Yeah.
limits.
That's on the other side of that calm. That's why they say the calm before
Before that
that storm.
storm.
But see, but what you gotta do though, Miss Sylvia, you gotta just say WWJD. WWJD. What would Jesus do?
Look, I'm gonna
What
take
would
a drink
what-
on that one.
What would Jesus Christ do?
Hey,
Aye,
hey,
aye, aye.
even nature, sometimes it rains soft, sometimes it rains hard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sometimes it might take a whole storm to get the job done out there.
Thunder, lightning,
to clean
and-
it up good out
They
there.
said a tornado too, huh?
Sometimes it does take a
A storm.
Yeah, it do.
You gotta go
wash
through
it
that
away.
spinning like Tasmanian.
You know, sometimes it does take that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can be good, you can be kind, you can be loving, but some people cannot receive that.
I think that's when the most people take you for granted when you the most nicest.
Oh, they do.
Because it's almost like
They do.
Kind of for weakness.
this weak motherfucker serious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They almost look at you
Ah.
like she a fish.
They
That
do.
was she.
They
Instead,
do.
and then when you
That
cut
And
was
up,
then
real.
when I come out of a bag, oh, see, I knew that. I knew it.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
yeah. But see, that's
Why?
that's that power manipulation then because I agree with you. I hate to have to be that person. I really
I
like to
don't
just
like-
be just a great person.
right.
Show up
Right.
with Bill and everything else
Be
because
that,
you really
that
come in
loving
peace.
person.
But
Right.
what is
Yeah.
but the average person then they become a victim.
Mm.
That's why sometimes like on TV when you see some of the stuff happen, I be like, let me see what happened first. Why did this man beat this man with his bat? Yeah, it looks sad he landed on the ground hollering, but there's a reason why he just pulled that bat out
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it just commenced the whooping.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes that. But we were talking about that earlier. We have to teach our kids to choose their fights. Now, man, you touch me, man. Why?
And they don't even want the consequence behind it.
Why?
But you know, one thing, Miss Sylvia, I always heard though, is that the people who survive on this earth are the ones who think it. Of course, we
Yeah.
got exceptions, but for the most part, you have to think your way out of situations. Because I can either say, "You hear
Yeah.
me? You know what? Excuse me," and leave,
And walk away.
or
And
crank
live.
it up to the highest level of crankativity,
Yeah.
and not knowing. I may win right then, shoot you, win, all that, but do you want to face those people that with the flip hair and the orange and beige skin
Man,
with ink pens and tight ass suits that's waiting
Waiting
to
for you.
scratch your face out like I-20? You don't want to
They're
face
waiting
that
for
either.
you. They're waiting to put a number on your chest.
Oh yeah, it's a payday
It's just out of space.
for the stock market.
But-
It's a payday for somebody.
Here again, we live in such a society that these kids don't care nothing about that. Anytime, a real story. Anytime a kid I would say, you're trying to scare them straight, right? Oh, you go to prison, you're gonna get raped, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get that. That little boy said to me, "What's the difference from being at home?"
Woo. And him saying that, he almost gone.
Do you understand?
He ain't gone, but he almost gone.
Yeah.
Because his mindset is focused on.
Somebody look at him
it don't
crazy.
even
Ain't gonna
matter.
tell him what might happen.
You
We
understand?
be going through any
So-
of that. Yeah.
We have to
That's
get
tough.
in these homes, seeing what these kids are going through. They're going, working within the juvenile system. I've encountered some horrific stories that you would not think that our kids going through. It was never heard of back in the day. Some of the things that our kids are going through and that they're doing. You have mothers that are prostituting their daughters. Or you got to stay here because my boyfriend wants you. So you got to stay here and do what he wants you to do so he can pay the bills. This is real
Wow.
in our community. This is real.
That's crazy. That's all.
Man,
That's
it ain't just on TV.
that's horrific.
This is not TV.
Yeah.
This is real life as to why our children are just don't care.
Yeah. They almost feel like they've seen
How do
everything.
you separate that? Did you say you lost a daughter or son?
Daughter,
Okay, you mentioned that other side of it that people don't want to meet. Now, how do you kind of compose yourself? Because you just lost a daughter, and on the flip side, you just told me a woman who prostituted her daughter.
yeah,
How do you kind of hold that together?
I
You
did.
Oh, you
I'm gonna
did?
be honest with you. I didn't hold that together at all, because the time that I was dealing with that case, it wasn't too long after I lost my daughter.
That's tough one to hear.
So here I am. I'm longing for mine, and you're prostituting yours. So doing that juvenile work became difficult for me at that time. So I transitioned from juvenile to adults, working with the adults in the driver's license. And you're still working, even though you're dealing with just a driver's license, you're still working with the issues that got them there.
Challenges.
All right? And it's not as simple as I didn't pay the ticket and come to court. There's always some surrounding issues there that you need to deal with, and dealing with that in order to get that person to the point of where they can get that driver's license. You're dealing with all those other issues. So to answer your question, I did not deal with that well at all. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I wanted to do something terrible. How dare you, lady? How dare you?
Old Wilvia.
Yeah, Wilvia.
Old
Wilvia
Wilvia.
showed up.
I can see that though, because there's something like that when you think about the innocence of a child. I just couldn't imagine saying, you know what, go ahead on. Like that,
You can't.
I couldn't imagine that.
The little girl, what she would do, beautiful little girl, and keep in mind, this was years ago. Beautiful little girl, what she would do was run away from home, stay in abandoned houses. And that's how she ended up in the juvenile court system. Still going to school, but she just would not go home, and it finally came out as to why she would.
I just say a lot of times you just can't write people off on a lot of this stuff, because you just don't know what they coming out of a lot of
What is it?
times. When we
You don't.
talk about a lot of issues in the community and stuff, and you just don't know what situations people coming out of, and they got kids. Now those kids got to grow up,
With,
you know,
with
and they
their
got kids,
issues.
and now those kids got so
Generational. It's
so.
just generational.
And we think it's. We get a lot of lazy blame, is what I'm saying. As
I like that
in our
term.
Like
race,
it just
race
happened.
people.
Yeah.
Like it
We
just
get a
happened.
lot of,
Yeah.
well, they just won't, you know. And I'm like, it ain't just that now. Come on now. Everybody, I know a lot of cats. You know, I know some that hadn't worked much, you know, and they done a little work. But most of the guys I know, you know, get up and go get it
And-
every day.
and do
That I know
something.
and actually, you know, have camaraderie with. And some that I don't even have day-to-day camaraderie
Right.
with. They working individuals,
Right.
you know, trying to get it. So I a lot of times I don't understand why we only get that tag as being lazy, and some of this stuff ain't being brought to the forefront of those
As to
conversations.
Why?
Like these things got why behind them. These
They
people
got
coming
a
out
why
of
behind
out of these families.
That's
People
That's
coming
right.
from families that
That's
this stuff
right.
happening in. You
But
know,
like you
Right.
said,
the
with
drugs, the violence, the all the other different stuff that's going on.
But the
And-
system, you say what it say, just us,
Yeah.
it's like they can consider that for others. Like, prime example, you got
There's always an excuse for us.
yeah, exactly. So like, have you heard anything about that case with I want to say the sheriff name was Big John. Was Lowndes County, Alabama?
Oh,
Where the little young Caucasian male just came to the gas station, killed him in cold blood. Now, you know, Alabama law is kill a law enforcement officer.
Yeah.
We're going to kill you.
Big John told him to turn that radio down.
You ain't heard nothing else about that case.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I remember that.
You ain't heard nothing
no
else
more
about
about
it. Like,
it.
to me, right now, he should be ordering his medicine. To go ahead and go and take him on that if that's the case. But it's like, to me, I just got a feeling, because I haven't looked up on it, but I just got a feeling that
Did it go away?
I just came through
Yeah,
Lions County
exactly.
this morning too, man.
did it go away, or is it a situation
Don't
they
get a
holler,
ticket in Lions County.
or they holler he's slow,
That's something
or
else.
he got problems or mental issues? But my thing is, you can still have them home,
Mental
but you need some of
illness.
that time. That time gonna help you
Mental
get
illness.
regular.
Yeah.
That time gonna help you get regular. Go down there with the rest of
Ain't
them.
gonna help a lot of more folks
Here
get
again,
regular.
Yeah.
That,
we
that,
gotta
thing, that feeling
educate
froggy.
our
You
kids
ain't gonna want to jump as
that
fast.
there's different set of laws.
Mhm.
The 6-year-old who went and shot the teacher, parents got convicted, right? Then there's the other boy that went into the school and shot his mental illness. Dylan that shot up the church. They took the dude to Burger King before they took him to jail.
And then it's almost like, where's the oversight that's supposed to discipline those officers? Like, nobody brings that up when it's two Caucasian officers. If it was two black officers that sat there and watched Duke shoot kill 9 people, and they stopping by hiding out, a Popeye, man, them jokers would have lost their job, or it would have been some disciplinary action that would have let them know that, hey, that's not okay. So for me to even see that go down, that was a total.
That was a hard one.
Yeah, that was a hard one to watch. When you
Believe
watch
they let that come across the news, man.
nine
9
family members.
members that was killed.
Yeah, and then, you know, I hate to say it this way, but I got to say it because
Say it.
it's on my heart to say it. When I heard all them black folk, all them aboriginals, melanated people, whatever they want to identify as, when they said we forgive them folk, I like, man, the dirt ain't even hard. Let the Lord forgive them. You got a right to be mad, hurt, angry, disappointed,
Period.
want to put that fire on their ass. I think sometimes we get up there and, I just forgive them. No, you don't. No, you don't. I don't believe that. And I mean, I know I'm not in that hard, but not a week after it happened. You
Not
do
a
not
week.
forgive them.
Not a week.
You just saying
No, I'm
that
not gonna
because
say-
that was the right thing to say
No.
on CNN or Fox or
No.
whatever network that was on, but
Not
I-
a week. It's gonna take time.
It's gonna
for
take a whole bunch
forgiveness.
because I
and
just,
and I do preach forgiveness.
Yeah.
I do encourage, not preach,
But-
encourage forgiveness. And
Absolutely.
forgiveness, we all know, is not for them; it's for yourself.
yeah.
In order for your heart to get right, because I stayed in a place of anger for a long time.
I think
And-
that's necessary too, though, Sid. I
Well,
think I mean not for so
let me
long.
tell you what anger do to you.
Yeah, but not for too long. But I think that you need that. I need to cry. I need to
Yeah.
holler.
Yeah.
I need to do a cartwheel, even though I ain't done a cartwheel in
Yeah.
20 years. I need to go out and do that in order for me to even start thinking about forgiving. Because if I forgive
You gotta
too,
go through those emotions.
because if I forgive too early, one day something could set me off, and I never really heal.
No, that's still.
I mean, it still can, but I don't think it's level 10 at that point. It's a level.
No, it's not.
But
It's
to me,
not.
forgiving too early to me is a dangerous thing. Now I would never speak on it.
You gotta go
But
through the emotions.
you gotta be mad.
And as an advocate, I always encourage to go through the
Mhm.
emotions. I mean, you gotta, like you said, be angry. I did a book. In that book, I talked about all the emotions. And no, it doesn't happen overnight.
Oh no.
So realistically, you like you said,
Some
Yeah.
truth
you
to it.
just said something to say for the camera, because it's not gonna happen overnight.
Yeah.
There's no way that you're gonna wake up the next morning and say, "Oh, I forgive." That's not being realistic at all.
When I see them folks
You
do
know.
that, I ain't gonna lie. I be on the low
It's
man
tough.
of them for real, cause I be like, man, stop lying. Just straight, cause
Just
it's okay.
be straight
son.
up about it.
Cause I think if it's like, nah, man, I don't feel sorry for him. When I see him, I'm gonna kill him. All right. Next question. Go. You better turn the camera off. You better say your battery dead.
It took me some years,
Oh yeah. And I think that's fair.
and even now, I can tell them I can forgive you, but I didn't forget. And at the end of the day, I'm only human.
Yeah.
So if I snap back, I'm only human.
Yeah.
But I do forgive you at the state that I'm in now.
Yeah.
And that's only because I had to do that for me. Because that unforgiveness will eat you alive.
Oh yeah.
I developed high blood pressure, cholesterol, anxiety, all of these medical issues occurred
Mm-hmm.
because I was harboring all that anger inside of me. And once I got to the point where I knew I had to let it go or it was going to kill me, not let what you did go, but let the anger subside. It was going to kill me. I was going to die. And I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt myself leaving here unless I made some changes.
Like Benny said, want that get back.
Oh, that get back is serious now.
That can eat you.
You know?
I'm sure it can.
It can eat you up.
Even when I be hearing them preachers with them nice 5 messages, I'm like, that nigga that snap, but he don't mean none of them.
Put him in that
But
situation.
it's a great thing to tell people because
Put him in that situation.
I agree because I'm an optimist, so I do believe in saying it's gonna be alright, man. But deep down inside, some saying, man, you crazy as hell, boy. I'm gonna put that fire there like I But I think it's right to say that though, you know, and I agree.
And
'cause
it's
I don't
only
disagree.
human to feel that way,
Yeah.
And we are
you know. But I also have to contribute where I am now is my faith in God.
Yeah.
Okay? I had to really walk that walk. And I seen anger kill somebody that
Yeah.
I love.
Mm-hmm.
The other mom, it ate her up until she took her last breath.
Mm.
I saw that. And I knew I was right there on that same track unless I made some changes.
Yeah. Well, we glad to have you here, Miss Sylvia. We glad to have you here for real because I understand, like I said, you know, I haven't lost a daughter. I have lost loved ones to violence, you know, but for as far as you talking about a seed, for you to still be here and be able to talk about it, that's
Share it with
That's
us.
only
that's real deal, you know, and that could be, you know, that's therapy for some who listening. I know it's therapy for you to even just be able to talk because every time you converse about it, it just it subsides just a little bit more.
it does.
Yeah, so
It
we
does.
appreciate it.
And to add to that, before we move too far over that, when we look at the news, going back to that, looking at the news, we see these young kids pop up on the news, look like us every day, you know, younger, of course. Some my age still. I ain't gonna call all them kids. Some adults that's out there
I
doing
see
some
a
regular
lot
stuff.
of- yeah.
So I can't just say all kids, but when we see people look like us popping up on the news doing things, and they possibly failed at exactly what you're talking about. You know, they let the anger,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, or the get back, or I got the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't let it slide, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It got to them to the point to where, you know what I'm saying, they retaliated or
Well, a
did
lot of
something
the
that-
violence now is retaliation.
exactly. So,
You know.
what the point I wanted to get to is that violence thing is a cycle.
It is.
So a lot of it is misplaced anger. You may have a person that ain't never did nothing to nobody get infuriated with the anger of murder. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody they love, you know what I'm saying, got took out of here, you know, in a messed up way.
Well, when,
Unjustly,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
When Crystal was killed, you know, in my community, in my neighborhood, there were people I did not know. There were little Caucasian men walking around at the gas station and knew my face that would say to me, hey, ma'am, if I see them, they dead. You know what I'm saying? So that anger goes into the community.
Yeah.
So as long as I stayed in a place of hurt and anger, and people saw that,
Mm-hmm.
they did too.
Yeah.
My family stayed there.
But one thing I can't say now, Sylvia, now that let you know you got some riders around you now.
I do.
Hey, you got some riders
I do.
around you but I can see that though, like especially when you see good people
Yeah.
that you
That
know,
just got angry
That's right,
about
yeah.
this.
it's almost like nah, cause they can
Yeah.
they got enough empathy in their hearts to be able to be like, man, I can see myself in that situation. Then we know these good people.
We're
It
already
was-
helping. We're already
It
helping
was
the community.
crazy. I mean, I got phone calls from prison. Ma'am, you don't know me, but if they come down here, I got them.
So it not only send it to that through that person,
I'm
it'll
like,
send it out.
how
Yeah.
did you get
To other
my
people.
phone number?
Yeah, it
You
ain't
know,
hard.
so that word got out all the way to Atlanta. I had a very famous rapper that I was on a program with. He had one of his people come to me after he heard my story and told me, use this phone number whenever you're ready. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
I feel you, but it's good to know you got some riders though.
You know,
It's
all
good to know you got
because
some of them hitters.
when you look at those girls, you knew they did not deserve that. But I cannot put myself in that place where I'm as evil as the ones that killed those girls. I can't do that.
It's hard.
I can't. Because then it just continues. That cycle just continues. You know, and I know me. You don't want Sylvia to come out in that kind of way.
But that's a way.
You know, don't touch none of mine no more. Don't touch my bloodline.
But I can see, but one thing that I don't see.
So I wanted to do things the right way.
If you would have done it what they call the wrong way, I don't think nobody would have been mad at you. It might have been something, of course, you dealt with within yourself. But I promise
really?
you,
Yeah.
nobody would have been mad. Like, because I believe in this, and I think Sam say this quite often. Even God give you a window to get that lick back. Like for real. Like if something happen right there and you gon' handle it, I swear I believe it's perfectly fine. Now I do agree with you with if I wait 2 years, 4 years.
Allow a little self-defense.
Then I catch a nigga at Piggly Wiggly, then I yeah, it's
I
a little
can't.
rough, yeah, but right there,
But
you got a
for
window.
me, for me and within myself and who I am and what I stand for me, to me, that'd be hypocritical.
Yeah, I agree.
And I can't do that. And the one thing that I tell the kids when I'm talking to kids, you know, you got to stand within your own truth. And my truth is I like to do things this way. And that's the right way.
And
Now, does
it's
it
tough.
always come out right? Not necessarily.
It's tough though.
Got a
But
storm every now and
I
then.
know I can go to sleep at night, right? Because if I want this kid to mirror me,
You got
I
to show them the right way.
yeah, I can't be that hypocrite.
Yeah.
I can't do it. And one thing about kids, they know when you sincere, when you're not.
Looking
Yeah,
you in your
that's true.
face.
Yeah. But I definitely
Action.
understand it because there's been things
Yeah,
that, you know,
it speaks way louder than those
just
words.
occur in your life that, you know, right then I get it, but I promise you, I definitely agree with you 100% of what you're saying.
Am I
Because
saying that it's not hard? It's hard.
I just said, what you say, hard as a Flintstone newspaper. It's hard. And I agree. And if you catch them, it ain't going to be that hard. So, and I thank God purposely, you know, everything's planned.
It is.
And as much
It
as we
is.
hate to say that when it hit our front porch, but everything is planned.
It is.
And he also will plan where you'll never see them niggas again.
You usually catch up with them.
It's
before
all,
you-
or until you come to a turn where
Thank
you
God.
can. And I think that's intentional too. God be
Yeah.
like, nah,
Thank
nah.
God.
We
You
don't
usually catch
even
up with
want.
them before you do, man.
We don't want to
That's
send
how I
you
always
No.
say it.
prison. I come down there and sit in the bunk with you, but I don't want you to go there. Yeah.
I wouldn't do well there, so no. Mm-mm.
Well, you know, now I hate to say this, and I don't want to speak nothing against myself, so I say it in a facetious way. If I had to do something like that and I felt like it was just, I would lay on that bottom bunk like Joe Clark did when he put them chains on the door. I promise you, I'd be in there just like this. Hell, Benny, you want something to eat? Nah, I just ate. I'd be sitting there, I'm watching TV, ain't no TV on. I could live with it more. But, you know, but prayerfully, never end up in that position.
You don't want to be there.
I don't want to be
You
there.
don't want to be at that crossroad where you make that decision.
Oh, yeah, because it ain't hard. It ain't hard as what people think to make that decision
Right.
either. It ain't
I
hard.
don't see the
And that's
crossroad.
the problem with our kids.
Mhm.
They don't think they snap, and they do. And then after the fact,
They start
that's when
thinking,
they come to their senses and said, "Oh man,"
yeah, it messed up.
you know. So just stop and think about it.
Don't make
Stop
that
and think
heated
about it.
decision.
I tell the kids several different things. One, stop, think about it. Two, mind your business. That's a big issue on social media. Everybody going off and talking. Mind your business.
Yeah.
Okay? Stay in your lane. Three, know who you hanging around with. Know who you dealing with. And keep that crowd, that circle very small. Those are your chances of being okay.
Yeah.
You know, not saying that it's not going to come to your door,
But the
but
things,
if it does, think.
but the things that you telling them though, it helps out a lot because sometimes before you make what they would consider to be a bad decision, you hear Sylvia saying, "Thankful you do that," and that can be that 1 second
That one window.
that changed their whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Oh,
as you
they
said earlier, a lot of people ain't receiving this kind of talk.
Yeah. They receiving the other side
Yeah,
of the
other
hype.
side of what
You
we
gonna
say.
let them do you?
There you
Yeah.
go. Man, I wouldn't let them do that. I wouldn't,
Yeah.
and get all up in their head.
Mhm.
But you're the only one that's going to go to jail or hell.
Yeah.
You're the only one that's going to do that.
I just said hell might be twice.
Yeah.
Cause jail is hell. Cause I heard a guy, he went to jail, he was like 53, and they sent him to the county.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, 53 years old, nice house, old lady, children, cars, boat, all that stuff like that, and gotta go to jail for a year?
Yeah.
Man, I'm just,
Your freedom.
that's the other hell.
Your freedom.
Yeah, you end up with a whole bunch of men in there
No,
falling, pool, eating, crying, hollering at the man.
You kill somebody, gonna be for a long time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that gotta be
Sad.
something to get used to.
It's sad. So you have to think about those decisions, you know, and don't think that I'm excused from it. I was telling Sam earlier about Chick-fil-A yesterday. You know how you merge in the line, and this lady, I went like this to go, and the lady just went crazy, and I'm like,
It's crazy because they ain't gonna serve, but who next?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
it's not gonna make a difference. It's not that serious.
You
Go
got
ahead, you got this.
Yeah.
You know, it's not gonna make not one bit of difference 2 minutes late. But had I been the wrong person that she did that to, right? There's probably the news saying there was a shooting at Chick-fil-A over merging a line.
And the killing part,
Everybody got them
That's
guns.
crazy.
and the killing part, if she keep playing, he or she keep playing, the universe will find a way
She gonna run into the wrong
for
one.
you to get exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah,
Universe,
that energy match. Huh?
oh
And
yeah,
it's sad because it's over nothing.
Yeah.
Over nothing. I don't care about you going in front of me. Go ahead.
I'm telling you, so they can say order for Sylvia. No, that's the other car. Oh, okay.
That's it.
Simple as that. That's the
That's
only
it.
thing that happen. I've seen that happen before, and I say right there, bro. Hey, I'm chilling, man.
Yeah, you go ahead. I'm good.
I ain't really.
I'm texting anyway.
Yeah,
so-
I'm telling you, I'm doing something anyway. Yeah.
You know, so hey, just stop and think, folks. You know, it's not worth the deterioration of a whole generation is what we're seeing before our eyes.
And as you said earlier, we the only ones that can come with a viable solution for it, only if we're willing to get together.
We got to get together on it.
Yep. So with that being said, Miss Sylvia, what I would like to do is come back for a part 2.
Yeah.
And probably a part 3 too,
I
because
enjoyed this.
because I know some of the conversations you had in here is so much more to dive in.
It is.
But I don't want to leave here at 1:38. K1 get paid by the hour, so you know. Yeah, so I would love to do a part 2 with you if you're
Love
willing.
it. I
And
love
what we'll
it.
do, you know what I'm saying, we'll do part 2 within maybe 3 weeks from now.
Okay.
And then we'll bring you back, and then we'll go to the second step on who you know that you're working with in some of these,
Okay.
and with some of the programs that you're doing, and what cities, what states, what avenue, who you work with, some of the results. We'd love to come back to that on part 2 if you will.
I will love it, and I'll
Gotta
just
get
put
them
this out
programs.
here so part 2 be interesting. With one of our programs in Wisconsin, we've been doing that for 3 years, and from this year, from January to date, is 0 homicides.
Okay.
Woo woo.
Blessings.
That's a big score.
Okay, whatever we're hand, y'all on
But
snap.
it
Y'all on
goes
snap.
to show that it works
Yeah.
if we come together.
That's right. So, Ms. Sylvia, if you would, could you give them a website, social media info, or a number to contact you if they need?
Hey, look, you guys know me. I'm Sylvia Bennett. You see me all over, you know, that Facebook thing. But you can go to WoodsonCenter.org, or you can go to VoicesOfBlackMothers.com. And most everybody know my phone number anyway, so 205-283-6980. Call me if you are a mom who's lost a child and you want some help. I can show you the resources that are available, or either if you just want to talk. We have a number of mothers who's gone through this, and we're here for one another, and we just help one another get through some of that ugly part of this period called life.
Father's Day coming up. Anything for the fathers?
Happy Father's Day.
Hey, well, that's good enough. That's normal gift anyway.
On the real. Yes, we do Voices of Black Mothers, you know, because we are that pillar.
Okay.
However, I always say we cannot do this without our men.
Right.
That's right.
We can't
Together.
do it without our men. Okay? So we try to be the women that hold up our men and push our men in the forefront to be that mirror for young black males. So yes. Happy Father's Day. Happy
Cute.
Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. And we love our black men. And we are proud of our black men.
That's
Yeah.
why I use that word, father, because you know we ain't just talking about no walking
No.
around
We
the
ain't talking
street
about that.
kicking on cans now.
No, we ain't.
We
We
talking about
talking about
fathers.
real men.
People who had to play bad.
Real men.
That's right.
Real men.
That's right.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, ooh, Lord, that's part 2. But yeah, a lot of black men get a bad name and a bad rap, but there's more good black men out here than not. There's more black men who are a part of their children's lives than not. You know, they want to say that statistic is da-da-da-da-da-da, but that's just not true.
I said
I'm
numbers
on the
lying
ground.
down there.
That's not true.
You got boots on the ground and sit.
Yes.
And you know.
And those men are there.
That's right.
Now, yeah, you have some that are not.
Yeah.
But
I said that ain't
As
that.
well
That
as
ain't
father
nothing new.
figures
That ain't a new- that
and
ain't a
guys
new
that just
stuff.
hold
That
it
ain't
down.
nothing
You
new.
know what I'm saying? You might
You
not be
know?
a biological, but you out here holding it down for
There you
somebody.
go.
Whether
There
it be
you
your
go.
sister cheering, your cousin cheering, or just the little kids round the block.
Yep.
You know?
So you have them out here who are doing the right thing. And like I said, that's a conversation for part 2, 3, and 4, because I want to get into how society have turned our young women into against our young men
You gotta dive in that, Miss Sylvia.
And then there you go. You got the breakdown of the family once again.
We need your perspective, Miss Sylvia. We
You know,
need
so I keep that real. I keep it true. It's just made up to divide the family and for that man not to be there.
Yep. Yeah, well, that's what's happening. I'm looking forward to part 2, Miss Sylvia. I'm looking forward to it. And we'll post that date and we'll put out the flyer probably about within the next 3 days. So thanks for tuning in to Barbershop Stories Podcast, episode 117. Miss Sylvia, we'll see her again. She formed groups all over America to come up with real solutions to
Yes.
stop the violence, and she don't play either.
Nope.
That's a will, that's a way.
Doug Brown.
That's a will, that's a way. Then also too, make sure you all check out the comedy shows that's coming up. Make sure you go to BennyMac205.com to check out shows that's coming in your area. June 15th, Enterprise, Alabama. We'll see you with the Cisco's Comedy Night in association with Benny Mac, bringing only the best independent comics in the country. And I bring that funny for a little money. Also on Father's Day for the fathers. Right here, Birmingham, Alabama, live at the Start On. Go to starton.com and go ahead and get tickets. We got Sunshine, D'Amico. We got Positive Cave. You remember? I got it, man. What you man got to do with me? DJ Lawrence performing live and also hosted by Benny Mac. So y'all make sure y'all come on through. You can go ahead and get tickets now. I can reserve your tables. And then by me being a father for the fathers that come out, who knows? I might buy the whole club shot that night. So that's what it is. Shout out to Z-Lens Media. Shout out to Mr. Dimitri for coming in our live studio audience.
Homie.
Yeah, shout out to Sammy No Nose here. He is definitely one of the best hosts in the country. He keep that info as he always say. And Miss Sylvia here for taking her time to come out and check out Barbershop Stories, the podcast. We are real barbershop. It ain't just a name. We are open 7 days a week, all hours of the day for your fire-ass haircut services. If our haircuts ain't fast, you want it right, come see us. BennyMacsOnFirst.com. And until next time, hey, only you can stop it. Go ahead and take a step forward to doing it. That's what it is, and bye.
Till we meet again.